Benson. I've been walking the Greasypole since the early 60s. I've won it a lot of times for a lot of wins. They don't classify as wins for what we did.
So Salvy, tell me the reasons, if you can, and take your time, that you liked to walk the Greasypole.
Tradition. I was brought up down the fort, and everybody down there had to do it, usually. And as we started, I think it was 14 or 15 years old when I started to walk the pole. Now they get age limits on it. They get ways you can walk it, ways you can't now. But back then it was all open. Actually, we started not just the Greasypole. We had the pole coming out of the beach, out of the sand, and we used to shimmy it.
Did you tell me a little bit about that? You've actually done that?
Yeah, I did it 1 year, and that was the last year they had it because somebody got a lot of splinters in his chest, and they stopped it. We used to do what we called buck. Everybody climbs on everybody's back for somebody to get up there quick, you know?
That's interesting. Was there a pole on the water?
No, it was on the beach. And we used to pile up on everybody to get it to the flag at the top of it. But then we still had the Greasypole too to do after.
So both went on the same
Yeah, both of them went on. But they have one schedule like between St. Joy races and stuff like that, so.
Did you ever do any of the same boats?
I did the same boats, not doing for the Fiesta, but I did it with like the West End guys. And I was a sculler on what we called the Greasypole that time. That was the name of the boat, you know, because we looked like a lost spider going out and coming in. But we beat them. We beat the West End guys.
That must have been fantastic.
Yeah, that was in the early days. I don't think I was 16, 17 years old back then, you know.
So you said that you enjoyed the tradition. I wanted to go back. You said that back in the fort, back in the old days of the fort, you said that you almost like had to walk the Greasypole.
No, well, a lot of people didn't have to, but when we were growing up as kids, even 9, 10 years old, we were out on that pole, you know. We used to shimmy out the end, put whatever we could get, put a flag at the end, and as we backed up shimmying it, we used to put grease on it. Then it'd be like 10, 20 kids. We all go out there, whatever we could.
Do you know like the reasons that they started to walk the Greasypole? And what's the reason behind it? I understand St. Joe's Fiesta, and I understand that it has to do with fishermen. What do you know about the reasons that some of the original guys used to get up on the pole? Was there anything connected to fishing?
Yeah, but there was guys I worked with that walked there on it that came from Italy, that won it in Italy, you know. And it was a tradition there where it started from here, you know. And that's how I learned it. I walked with a couple of the champs that won it in Italy, you know.
How about the St. Joe's Fiesta as a tradition altogether, like the whole religious part of it? Is that something that you've always? What are your earliest memories of the tradition, even beyond the Greasypole? What else any early memories that you like to do when a kid?
Well, back then we never had carnivals like they do now. I mean, we used to go out and we used to sell all St. Peter's tickets, you know, to make money so we can go on rides back then. And everything the fort was open. If you were hungry, you could always go into somebody's house and eat, you know. You're always welcome in everybody's house down there.
So we're going to go back to the Greasypole a little bit. After you won the Greasypole, and I'm going to actually shut this door for a second while I, just so that no sounds get through this or something. Dogs bark from the outside. We'll have it all on film. I don't know what to do with it later on, so we'll just do that. Um, yeah, so back to a little bit about pole walking. Um, what is it? How does it feel to win Greasypole?
It felt good when I won it back then because I was what I thought was the best, which I consider. I look at the pool now; it's a lot shorter than what it was back in the early days, and it's a lot fatter than it was in the early days. But I walked it with Tommy Cavner, what we called Leapy. uh, Mike Calamo, well, Vito, his brother was Calamo. He won on a Saturday one day, and I won on a Sunday one day. And we used to party at the old Fat Walsh's back then, before we went out there. But Tommy Cavner, Johnny Belly High Burnham, Albert Genoese, all the old people that we used to have more fun out there, It's a whole different thing now. We knew everybody on the pole. Now, you're lucky you know maybe 5 people on the pole,
They have that group of, it sounds like a lot of you guys are friends. Was there anything common amongst all of your friends about why walking the pole?
Yeah, we all had the same issues about it. Who's going to get the end?
Here's one for you. This might be tough, but I have to ask. If you thought you ever had a secret to walk in the Greasypole that you were going to reveal, if there was anything that you thought you did that was different than anybody else, what would you say it was?
I grew my toenails long.
Classic.
And actually, I had a bet with Johnny Burnham one time that I'll get the flag without using my hands. He bet me $500 it will never happen. And I did do it. One year, you could see my feet wrapped around the flag, taking it down without using my hands. And poor Johnny, he got lost ST. Never paid his bet, but I'll see him after.
That's amazing. I was told a story one time by an anonymous person that you were involved with some sort of motorcycle gang.
Yes.
But I heard a story about you had come down to the Greasypole with them. You remember it?
Yes, I brought a lot of people down here, I did a lot with different motorcycle clubs, and I was involved in motorcycles back then, but there was never no hassles or anything down here. They enjoyed what they're doing. Matter of fact, my mother used to feed them all and everything, so.
Yeah, the reason, I'll tell you the story after, it's really funny.
Yeah.
It was just kind of iconic that someone had said that he came into the beach with a few different guys riding motorcycles, went up there, walked the pole, won, and then went and strapped
Yeah, the flag to the bike, yeah.
You remember
Yeah,
that?
I remember it.
Tell me that story.
I had an old 1956 Harley Davidson back then. Yeah, and we all went down there partying. I said, wait a minute, you got to excuse me for a while. I got to go walk that pole. And they said, what are you going to do on it? I said, don't count on nothing. Watch it. When I swam to the beach, I said, I don't believe you really did it. You got to be nuts to be out there. But I did what I did.
Here's another one too. There's another anecdote story that I have about you that you can tell me whether it's true or not. Someone says that your motorcycle appears on an album cover.
Yes, it does. It does.
Tell me about that.
When I went to Woodstock back in '69, 2 friends, with people I know, that he was going to jail and he wanted to get rid of the bike. I ended up with it, and I ended up going to Woodstock with it. And there was 2 people that sat on the bike that was the cover of an album. And I don't know if I should say the names, It was Hell's Angel and Jim Joplin.
So the album cover was whose?
Janis Joplin back then. She used to play in a coffee shop down in Woodstock. Granite Village, and with Jimi Hendrix back in those days. And we used to go there and party with him.
Yeah, so it's a great, I heard that. I definitely, I thought it was funny. I had to
Yeah.
ask you. It has nothing to do with the Greasypole. I just thought, you know what, while he's here, I have to ask you. Will you be walking the Greasypole this year?
I don't know. Right now, my mind tells me to do it, but my body tells me not to. You know, you know, too much going on the last couple of years. What happened? So
I know that you're a commercial diver.
yeah.
How did you get involved in commercial diving?
No, I would say Butty Galante and Paul T. Howling. They're the two that got me into diving, and I've been doing it ever since. I traveled every place I would say in the world doing it. I enjoyed what I was doing, and now it's the time I got to back off because I can't do what I used to do. But I still do what I want to do.
I think you walked last year, right? I could sworn last 2 years you walked.
Well, that was a problem. No, that was when the thing there, yeah. Because they had an argument with my nephew and everything that was on the pole, and we were going to get locked up and everything.
No, I
The last time I walked it was with Mikey Calamo, and he was 73 years old. And I came in with him because nobody else would give him respect enough to swim in with him. So I could have walked another time, but I didn't. I'd rather give respect to my friend than the pole. I wanted to make sure he got the shore.
Tell me about. You also did a lot of the greasing of the pole.
Yeah, I did the greasing since. Oh, I can't even think of his name now. They used to grease it all the time. He used to tell me how to do it, the way to do it. I've been greasing that pole for almost 30 years, I think. Oh. Trying to think of his name. Oh, man. He's going to get mad at me.
Someone that taught you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How you do the pole.
Yeah.
How you grease it.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any help when you did it?
Oh, yeah. I had my kids do it with me. I had news people do it with me to show them what it's like and everything. They made, videos of it, of news people throwing on the grease and everything. Then show them how I do my secret things to it.
Explain that.
Secret ways, Now we got to use biodegradable grease. But back then we had axle grease, oil, anything we wanted to put on it, we did it. And now laws have changed. Everything, we're more about the protection of everything.
Did you have any family members that participated in the
Oh, my brother won it. Yeah, he was one of the first walkers. When they said he was the first walker on a Sunday, walked out, got the flag. They didn't like it, so that's where it started from him. Yeah. Then they said, well, after that, we ain't going to have it. We put the flag. Then after that, I went out and got it. They didn't like it, so nobody got it the first time no more after that. So that's why they have what they call the courtesy round now.
Has anybody, what happens if you win the courtesy round?
There's one guy that did. I'm thinking of all these people, all these tourists, everything, sitting on the beach, watching this guy walk out, get the flag, swims all the way in, then he gets shit beat out of him, gets the flag and put it back on the Greasypole. And that was a God's-honest truth because I was there.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Photographs of it in the newspaper.
Yeah, I guess they won't do it no more.
How
everything has changed. You know, to me, it's like they ain't the tradition that it used to be. I mean, you knew everybody on the pole. Now they're from. I mean, they were all fishermen. Everybody has something to do with fishing related on the pole. Now it's anybody from any state, any place. You know, it's who they know to get them on there can walk it. Back then we had a tradition. You had to be either Italian or a fisherman, something to do with the fishing industry.
It's interesting. It was that time that I was on your boat. This probably won't be in there.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk about it for a second. What was the issue that day?
The issue was they were supposed to give me a dockage, you know, a tie-up stop, because I got people on the boat. They want to watch the Greasypole. They want to let me do it. You know, it's like I've been doing it for so long, and you know, I've never had a problem tying up alongside some of my friends and everything. But this time here, they want to let me do it, and I said, you know, and we had people aboard the boat that wanted to see it, and hey, if they want it their way, they can have it their way.
I'll tell you, face to face, that it definitely seems odd that they didn't pay enough respect to, what would be the all-time champ. And even if you weren't the all-time champ, it's, you had done so much work for it for years.
But before we even, because I had this argument with them before, and they said, look, we'll guarantee you a place to tie up. This is before this here all happened. And they never kept to their words. So I said, the hell with it. They ain't going to keep to their words, I won't keep to mine. You know? It wasn't me that did it, it was them.
Yeah, and again,
you know?
this won't be in the film. I
Yeah.
just thought it would be fun to interview about it.
Well,
I have the pictures to go with
yeah.
it. Why better not to have that, your active
Right.
response. But I understood completely
Yeah.
that day. I understood
But it was
completely.
all agreed upon before that, oh, you're going to be able to tie up here, no worry about that. Okay, I'll do what you want me to do. I do what they want me to do, then they, oh, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, you got to get out of here. Wait a minute, I thought we had agreement. Oh, no. Okay.
Tell me about when you said you had been walking the pole probably since you were possibly 12 years old.
No, maybe younger than that, no.
Do you remember some of the older names that you heard walking the pole before?
Oh, Sleepy Pelazzola, I walked it with him. A lot of people that they're all gone now, and I'm trying to think of their names, and I got mind blank right now on them. I know Sleepy, Jimmy, there's about 4 or 5 other ones I know. Well, Tommy Kavanagh, I think it was Joe Bagusa. I think I can always remember him in the 40s winning it. There's a lot of them, you know.
But there was something about seeing some of those older guys
Yeah.
that made you want to do it?
Oh, definitely. Well, you're brought up down the foot, you got it sitting there in front of you all the time. We've always went to Pavilion Beach. We never went to Good Harbor Beach or anything. Pavilion Beach was all beach, don't matter what. And we didn't have no diving boards. Well, we had the old, what we call the railings, the gray house, at one time down there. But at the time, for a kick, we'll get 10 or 15 guys together, we'll go to the Greasypole.
That was as early as you can remember?
Yeah. And that was, oh, Christ. We didn't even have lifeguards down there or anything back then.
Salvy, we're going to finish up because I
Right.
wouldn't be that long. And I just want to give you an opportunity if there's anything you can think of, that you wouldn't mind kind of saying, into the future to people that might be walking the poles
grow your toenails long. The secret's out. I'm not like the dog in the beans commercial.